What's happening, y'all? This your boy Jeezy for Sheezy. You understand me? Here in my personal studio that I've learned a lot of stuff here. I've been doing this for 24 years. I've been recording, producing, stuff like that for 24 years. I've been mixing and mastering for approximately 5.5 years, and through the trial and error of recording and mastering, I taught myself some stuff. And I always wondered, when I would visit the schools like the School of Music in Atlanta and stuff like that. I did that back in 2012 and 13. I was learning stuff because, see, my fascination always been the electronics and the whole idea of how the stuff works. It's not so much that, yeah, I play drums. I mean, seriously, y'all, I actually play. I actually play drums, so you know, just knowing that I would take the camera off, but I actually play these things, so. That's what I do. I'm an actual musician. Yes. But that's exactly what I do. I'm an actual musician. You know what I'm saying? And when you do this stuff naturally, see, this is a reflection of people that come to your studio and mess with stuff in your studio. Drums all wobbly and carrying on. I don't play them enough for them to even get like that, but people come in your personal space and mess with stuff and don't know what it's there for. But anyway, sorry, y'all know this is gonna be a long video. But anyway, I be dusting and carrying on while I'm down here because you want to try to keep your equipment clean as you can. Because, all honesty, anything that generates heat things that generate heat have the tendency to build up dust. But anyway, my whole purpose of shooting this video was because you got a lot of newcomers that's doing what I've been doing majority of my life, over half of my life. Because see, I'm knocking on 40. You feel me? So, a seasoned professional is what they call me. An art lover is what I call myself. I love the art. So, but I love a lot of things. I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I play with circuit boards. I modify things. I even create stuff. Look, I got a chaotic eyeball knockoff. It's a knockoff. I know folks, they like to say what they want to say. When I say chaotic eyeball knockoff, and like I said, I like to create things. I build stuff. I got tools everywhere because I'm a seasoned professional. A lot of stuff y'all might run to the store and buy. I don't. Now I know you looking around, and as you can see, I got updated stuff everywhere. I got racks. I got all kinds of stuff, and this is what they call years of accumulation. It's stuff that I've accumulated over the years. I mean, I don't own anything but this and my drums and my tools. That's all I own. I don't own nothing else. And when you realize you living to die, you're gonna eventually die. So one of my many children, gonna inherit my stuff. I won't need it, you know what I mean? But it just hurts me that I have a gift that could teach people that actually go to school to learn this stuff. And my biggest thing with shooting this video was just to let people know, if you go into school for this game, I need you to understand that this game is going to change. And regardless of what you learn in school, you got to have a great set of ears. It's the first thing. And you got to be able to be schooled in a way to understand what it is that they're trying to teach you. But the problem is, you got a lot of folks from where I'm from, Alabama, that feel like if I go buy a computer, a microphone, and some speakers, I can make music and I can make money. No. Because if you don't record right and you don't have a good signal coming in, a seasoned professional like myself ain't going to be able to mix and master nothing you done did because you didn't put it in there right. Yeah, a lot of y'all record stuff in too hot, stuff like that. Now, I don't have one of them cameras where I can show you what's on the screen, but I could sit there and tell you what you're looking for all day. It just depends on what software you're working with. So the first tip and the only tip that I give people is what you want to do. When you go into this system, what you want to do is, let me get excited here. I'm going to tell you, just bear with me on this here. All right. First of all, I know a lot of y'all little computer savvy guys. You like to use that one computer for everything. What you're looking at in front of me is two computers, which really, in all honesty, is more like three. I got two computers running Pro Tools by itself. I got one computer that's using as the production station. See, I got three sections rolled into two. I got the production side, I got the recording side. Now, we could talk about crack plugins if y'all want to. Now, the thing is, I went ahead, I decided 3 years ago that the industry is changing. So I can't be getting crack plugins because when I decide to upgrade an OS or something like that, I got to worry about the stuff that I got working. So I decided to buy everything. So we ain't talking about crack plugins. Everything on my system is paid for. And it has broke me diligently. I mean, broke me. I probably got about $30,000 of plugs, man. But guess what? I never lose them because once you buy them, they send you an email with a link where you can download it however many times you need to so you don't lose it. Trick is always remembering your email address. But other than that, certain stuff like that, you don't lose. As far as artists, when y'all come to the studio, I advise everybody go and pay the 10 or 15 or $5, however the people charging. My price is 10, but I always get your session file because you can't depend on the studio to hold your stuff for X amount of years. You go and get your session file on a DVD, put it in somewhere it won't get scratched up or hurt, or you better get it on DVD, take it home to your laptop, convert it down to a hard drive, and you always got it. It's up to you how you do that, but there are ways. But I'm saying that to say this. I do this to help people because I see so many people that get discouraged with the art, but spent a lot of money in the art and just throw their money, They be like, oh, forget music and throw the CDs away and never think that you can sell these CDs. You can go and make copies of these CDs. You can get folks to buy them for you $5. The money you spend in the studio, you never lose. You don't lose it. There ain't no way. The trick is you got to make good product. You want it to sound good, stuff like that. And see, the problem is like what I deal with here in my area. You got a whole bunch of guys that quote unquote call themselves, mixing engineers and stuff, and that's not really what half of them are hobbyists that's trying to be better or get to be better than everybody else. And I mean, you got a lot of guys that are actually running studios here that make real good tracks. Like my partner Hood Zone, he makes great music. Uh, South makes great music. Damian Crenshaw makes great music. TC the Don make great music. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be one of the other fellas. Cause I'd heard a lot of folks mixes, man, and no, it ain't right, bro. A lot of y'all don't have the ear to listen for the depth of your music, and so far the only people that I mean, cause I got different sets of listening media. I can load your stuff up and tell you what is missing, and that's another thing. When it comes to mixing and mastering, like one guy asked me, man, what you use to mix and master? I laughed at him. I said, why? And he was like, damn, you ain't gonna tell me what you. I said, bro, what I use ain't gonna necessarily help you do what you doing, you know, cause when I'm bouncing a master down, I can't listen to it on my HSAs. It's not gonna sound right. You know, a person is listening to my HSA, they're like, bro, that don't sound right. But then when you play it in the cheapest stereo and you hear the quality from something cheap, and then you can play it everywhere and it sound the same, regardless of how cheap the system is, you be like, oh, but how did you come up with that? Trial and error. If you don't sit in this studio and learn your equipment, you don't know what you can do down there. And see, if you don't take the time, do you not realize one time, 3 years ago, I burnt 200 packs, these right here, on 4 songs, trying to figure out why this one didn't sound right. What's wrong with that one? Why this one? I'm like, wait a minute, wait. So I kept digging and digging and digging. And I realized you can mix and EQ a bass line as much as you want to. You can mix and EQ a vocal as much as you want to. You can do this and that as much as you want to. But if it's not mixed flat and properly, it ain't gonna come out right. I'm sorry. You ever notice every song sounds different? But for me to sit down in a house of music in Atlanta years ago, and for them to say, bro, you working on something serious, I can hear it in your mix. That mix loud as hell. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want it loud though. I want it to be dynamic and full. And okay, well, you got, so my venture went from mixing loud to mixing properly loud, and mixing loud with dynamics, and mixing superbly where it's not considered loud, but it in its entirety. It's there. It's a beautiful thing, and it sounds better than a lot of professional albums that's been released. Not bragging. I'm not. It just, I know some people feel like they have the right to brag, but me personally, I've been doing music all my life, man. So a person that plays drums or guitar, and if they mixing and mastering, you should go to them because they actually know what to do musically. You got a lot of producers that just know how to draw blocks and all that stuff and Fruit Loops and stuff like that. Ain't actually ever put their hands on a board. You know what I'm saying? Like I play piano by ear. I play Yamaha. I love Yamaha sounds, but then as the time went, and 3 Yamaha systems later, I landed myself a XS, and I didn't upgrade no more because the software world took over. And see, that's another thing. You're in the software world, you got to keep in mind a lot of those softwares are 10 and 12 bits. It ain't too many of them there's a true 64-bit or anything like that. So when I upgraded my system to 64 bits, I was like, hey, Hmm. All right. Then I noticed they had some 128-bit uh, things going on. Now let me explain to you. To those of you that's mixing and mastering, or so call yourself mixing and mastering, you can't properly mix and master on a regular old computer. The plugs that you're gonna need to bring that stuff up to the level it's supposed to be, a normal computer can't run it. And that's why I be laughing at a lot of you guys. Not laughing at you as far as, laughing at you, laughing that you fool yourself to think that I can do that. I can mix and master on my. But I lied to myself at that point because I'm like, wait a minute. They can. They can get just as loud as the professional people. They might not have all the clarity, but the loudness of it, yeah, they can get there with a regular computer. But if you want that song to maintain its purpose and its fullness, you gotta have those extra processors, man. And right now I'm working with 24 cores. It's two dual core. It's a dual. Well, actually, I'm using a server, so it's got a lot of processors in it anyway, and it ain't cheap. I think that's the heart of my studio because I actually spent 2 years saving to get it. But the point that I'm trying to make is if you go on the website to like Pro Tools software, they'll tell you what computers are running the software effectively, and that's one of the computers I actually went and got because, like I said, it ain't a fashion show for me. This is all I own. I mean, I just spent my whole life buying this stuff, so it's not like, I could just jump right out and go get another one. No, it'd probably take me 8 years to buy another one if I had to. But the point I'm trying to make is when y'all get into this and y'all charging people, man, if you don't really know what you're doing, you should tell people this because people work hard for their money, and then a lot of y'all recording folks and a lot of mixes that hit my table, and I'm like, oh God, how much you paid for this? How do you do? You need to call them, tell them to do this over. If they can't do this over, they need to get your money back. But one thing, I was wrong by telling people to do that because I forgot. You can't tell nobody to give them no money back because regardless, then nobody make them go to them. And number two, you can't replace that person's time they spent on making that mistake that they paid for. Because basically that's what it was. You charging people for the hours and the times that they're in your establishment, but if they recording you wrong, that's on the person that went to them fault. Ain't nobody make you sit there and spend all that money. You sit right there just like they did, listening to that music. And if you knew it didn't sound right, you should have stopped right there. Like, hey, homeboy, oh no, that don't sound right, man. That don't sound like Jay-Z album or something. No, man. If they can't do that for you, bro, but I still I fought the artists because artists need to realize that when you come to a studio time, it's separate fees for everything that you get done in the studio. It's a fee for record. Usually that's 50 to 65 an hour. You want mixing. Mixing could get very expensive. Mixing can start at $500 to $600 a session, and we talking within the hour, $500 to $600 an hour. Yeah. I know cats right now that charge $2,300 flat rate to mix a song, just one, to mix a song. $2,500, a lot of money. But the point is, it's a reason why they charge like this. Because just think, if I made my mixing and mastering just $20 and $30, I'm gonna have too many clients, not enough time to even get out, pay my bills, not alone go to work. Because, let's be honest, the music thing is something all on the side unless you work for a major label. So, with that being said, y'all need to realize that there's different fees for everything that you get in the studio. It's a fee for recording. It's a fee for mixing. It's a fee for mastering. Because, see, once you get something mixed, guess what? You got to get it mastered. Once you get it mastered, that's the end of that project. And then you got clean versions. There's a fee for that. If you doing dirty rap, it's a fee to get it clean too. Usually that's between $50 to $100 depending on where you go. But I'm just saying, y'all need to understand there's different fees for this stuff, cause it ain't nothing easy. You know what I'm saying? And then where you go, having the variety of sounds, like what we got Nexus over here, we got Omnisphere over here, we got Native Instruments over here. Here you got the Machine Studio and MPC John over here. You know, then you got the Yamaha. Then all of that is being fed through a process of what is that? Conversion at 196. A conversion at 196. All this stuff is being filtered through a rack into a computer with optimum quality coming out. And see, you can go to a lot of couple $1,000,000 studios, and a lot of them still don't have their setup like that because they didn't go as far as understanding the electronic side of what they have. You have patch bays and stuff like that. A lot of folks don't even know how to use patch bays. But the thing is, you want to be able to have it where that artist can get up there. You can live fly them in, or you can throw a plug in on them. And most people figure it's easy. Hell, just put a plug in on it. Hey. And all honesty, it's still more to it than that. So, you know, I just put this stuff out here hoping I can help people to understand that this ain't play. This real deal. And if you listen to a lot of music y'all here on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, a lot of folks don't have that optimal sound. I mean, some of it sound real good over the cell phone, but when you take it out and put it in a real system, you be like, what was that? Yeah. But I don't put these videos out here to knock nobody or what they doing or, you know, how they get by. But, I mean, if you're trying to be something, try being your best at all times. That's basically all I'm saying. So, till next time, holla.